It is Art in Chocolate, and Warren Laine-Naida joining, and I'm nervous. Some of the things that you've mentioned that we're going to do in the kitchen today have got me really kind of freaked out.
Oh, we're not actually going to do them. I just thought I'd get you freaked out.
Thank you.
You know,
it's very good.
I got to mention the hair.
Okay.
It looks a lot better than the blue, and it works. I think you're a good bald guy.
You think maybe this would be a good subject for maybe a bust of Ken Eastwood in chocolate?
I think, see, the thing is, it's a lot easier to sculpt with the bald. It's smoother than trying to get all the details of the hair. It doesn't work. This is a lot easier for me.
You know what? I was browsing the website artandchocolate.ca, and I am really just astounded at the textures you can manage to get out of chocolate. It's really astounding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just the immediate textures. You know, I brought a couple of examples here that. But it's how chocolate changes over time. I mean, it's organic, so we're showing a sculpture later that's like 6 years old. So because it's organic, the fats start to change. So it's inherent in the material that it's going to be changed.
I'm amazed that it actually managed to last 6 years without somebody taking a big bite out of it.
Well, yeah, I'm also amazed. There have been bites, but not of this one.
All right, put me to work. What do you need me to do for you?
Okay, so what we're going to do today is a couple of things. One, we've got a 5-pound solid bowl of chocolate. So what we're going to do is some of the tools I work with are chisels, different sizes chisels. So I'm going to get you to start chiseling out and hollowing out this bowl. Okay. Now this is a softer chocolate. This was poured about 12 hours ago.
Okay.
So it's a little soft, but because we want a bowl with some more details, a softer chocolate, you could actually get your name or something in there.
Right.
We've got a softer one. We've got this harder one here. That's much older. It was cast a long time ago. So if you're going to start carving into that, it'd be a little different. Let me just show you here.
You show me what you need me to do.
Okay. So you can just start hacking away like this. Okay, and you can also, because it's soft, if you want, you can actually just start making a circular motion going around.
Okay, I can do that.
And once you've got some, you can dump it into there, then you do the next layer. And the goal is to create a chocolate bowl.
All right.
Now, while you're doing that, we've got some cocoa we're going to cast, much like you would aluminum casting. So we've got some cocoa here, and we're going to impress different shapes into it. You could come up with all sorts of different things as long as there's not too much detail.
Okay.
And we're going to fill that with chocolate. And when they set, that's going to be one of the things that we start to fill the bowl with.
Interesting.
We've also got some bubble wrap, so we can do some bubble wrap chocolate.
Wait, what's bubble wrap chocolate?
Bubble wrap. You see it all the time.
Well, I know what bubble wrap is, but what is bubble wrap chocolate?
Well, if you melt the chocolate and cover the bubble wrap with it, and you peel it off, you get a really nice texture. Just dump that in there.
Okay.
And something you can use for desserts. The kids can play with it. You can just munch. It's a different shape.
That's neat.
So we're just going to check this chocolate to see about the melting. Good. It's coming along nicely. Good. We're going to cheat a little bit on that. So this is a couple of pounds of cocoa.
Okay.
And it should be dry. Yeah. You can press your form down into it.
Oh, okay.
And you have to be sort of gentle with it.
Yep.
It's not going to get all the detail, but it's going to get pretty good detail. That's nice. That's nice.
So we're just using the cocoa as a form.
You're using the cocoa as a form, yeah.
Oh, I'm getting chocolate on my hands. I might have to lick some of it off.
Oh, yeah. Licking chocolate sort of, that wasn't part of what I agreed on there, Ken.
So obviously we use cocoa so that, when we're done with it, we get a nice layer of cocoa on the outside?
The cocoa will stay on the outside, and you don't want, if you're going to be eating the chocolate, you don't want to cast the chocolate in sand.
Ooh, yeah, no. That would be kind of gritty.
Now, you could do this in coarse salt.
Right.
You could do this in a few different things, but cocoa is it's not traditional, but it certainly works better because of more of a sand. So you get a nice impression here. And again, I mean, these are molds, so if you want to do a few of them, you could argue, yeah, I just fill this up with chocolate and I've got a chocolate mold. But
right.
If you've only got one, you could do quite a few of these.
Absolutely. And this way you could use pretty much any item, press it into the cocoa, and then you've got an instant mold of it, right?
We did an exhibition where we had one piece as a figure, and we just impressed it in over months and cast different figures, which are subtly different but the same mold. And then we had these hung on the wall.
Well, you know,
eerie, but
we joked about my a bust of my head, but
you could stick your head in there.
Yeah.
Your face, your child's hand, your child's feet. We've done that. or I've done that with my my oldest child.
Okay.
And then you stick the feet in there, pour in some chocolate, and then it's a funky sort of thing for Mother's Day. You know, chocolate children's feet.
Chocolate feet. I love it.
There might be a market for it. So how are you coming along there?
I don't know. Am I going? Is it just me, or am I going really slow?
No, this is good. You
Okay.
don't want to rush it. You don't want suddenly that the chisel goes in, slices your hand, the chocolate falls in half, and the whole show's over. So you can be gentle with it.
All right.
I'm
I'm
gonna
more
turn
concerned
this
about
off.
the chocolate bowl exploding, as you so aptly put it before the
Well,
break.
it wouldn't be good. But dump some of this out, and then you can get a little more.
I need to make a deeper bowl. Is that what you're trying to
It could be
say?
deeper, but you could get a wider.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wider is good.
wider is good. So I'm just going to fill these up. So
You
you
fill
just melt
those
the
up.
chocolate. You dump this in there. Okay, and then after I've done this, I'm going to spread the bubble wrap.
Okay, I tell you what, you
Yep.
get those molds filled up. I'm
will.
going to get to work on my chocolate bowl here.
You're doing a good
You can
job.
take a moment and visit artinchocolate.ca, and while we're working away, we'll be right back with more chocolate sculpting on Daytime. Hang on. Welcome back to Daytime. The beautiful sculpture of Warren Laine-Naida and Art in Chocolate. That's hard to believe. It actually looks like bronze. How did you manage to make chocolate look like bronze, Warren?
Okay, well, the first two segments of this sculpture is it's about 6 years old. So
Wow.
the first two have just aged through time. Now the top one is covered with a layer of copper dust.
Okay.
Sometimes you use silver, sometimes it's lead. But then it gives it a much more sort of unchocolatey, but more of a museum piece look. The museums like that.
It really does.
Exhibitions like that.
Looks, I think, are people surprised when they find out it's chocolate?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
We have so many people, they come and they go, where are the chocolate clowns? Where are the chocolate horses? You know, where's the chocolate I can eat?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but my work addresses the sinister side of chocolate. So it's not supposed to be pretty. We
Right.
expect it to be pretty, we expect it to be comforting, but my work doesn't address that.
Not to say it's not appealing. It's just
It's
just
certainly
not pretty.
appealing, it's not pretty.
Right.
It's not pretty.
So you do a lot of work in Europe, specifically in Germany.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, right now some of my pieces were just sent off to Nuremberg. This is near Karlsruhe. It's right on the border between France and Germany, near Alsace, Strasbourg. There's a show there that starts on the 24th of March and runs until the end of July. So that's the first show of this year. Usually there's 6 shows in different venues around Germany, or there was in Vienna. Every October I'm in London. They have a chocolate week.
Wow.
The fashion week is actually a chocolate week, so I'm always there. And chocolate's pretty accessible. Everyone likes chocolate. Yeah.
Talk about, I mentioned the texture that you can get with chocolate, and this is just a perfect example.
This is the very first piece I made. This piece was made in 1996. All of my pieces, I try to stage them and photograph them outside. And this piece has just aged over time. It was originally covered with a layer of gold dust, and this is sort of oxidized, changed into green. But the placement of chocolate, what you expect from chocolate, and there it is in the snow and in a dirty environment.
Yeah.
It's unexpected.
Definitely not pretty. Now,
No.
I'm assuming this is part of the piece that you brought in with you today.
This is part of the piece. This is a fall piece. It was one piece that's purposely broken into 2. It was a very large object, and sitting on a white environment, white background, or on a big glass coffee table, it's certainly something that can be observed. And this is a little nastier piece. This piece addresses sickness, specifically cancer.
Wow. I got to tell you, in a lot of cases, it looks like your goal with your chocolate is to make it look as least like chocolate as you possibly can.
Yeah, that is sort of the goal. I mean, our expectations from chocolate is, it's comforting, it's rich, it's happy. Now, the joy of chocolate is because it's organic. It is from the first, it's going to be deteriorated. It's guaranteed because it's organic. And normally with art, artists traditionally produce art so that they live forever.
Yeah.
But with chocolate, it's never going to live forever. It will disappear. So the artist disappears with the work, which
That's
is
funny
it's a
because
different process.
Most artists would find that difficult to handle, not having their art last forever.
I think it's
but-
important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Okay, well, let's finish up.
Your bowl is looking really good.
Is it? Are we deep enough here?
It's
Do I need to do
almost
some
deep enough.
more?
I think it's
Okay.
good. So what we've done is we've filled the cocoa casts with some chocolate. I've also taken some of the melted chocolate and I've rubbed it over for the bubble wrap.
Okay.
Okay. So then, through the magic of time lapse, because you want to let this set. You don't want to put it in the refrigerator.
No.
You don't want to put it anywhere more.
Okay.
Just let it set.
So I think a lot of people would think the refrigerator would be a perfect spot
It's a bad
for
place for it. You get bloom. The fats will separate at different rates, and you'll get that white spotty color on it. Not nice.
Okay. So just room temperature or slightly below?
Slightly below or room temperature. These were done yesterday. So this is what I pulled out of the cocoa.
Okay.
And I use a brush. Now you could use a brush, you could use a makeup brush, anything you like. Am I too close?
There you go. We just got to see it.
And you brush off the extra cocoa.
Right.
Okay. And then, can you dump some more of that out of your bowl?
Let me clean up my bowl just a little bit. Get some of that.
I've made some. You can make some rings.
There we go.
You can make whatever you like, and it's nice because you're going to have the bitter taste of the cocoa powder and the rich taste of the chocolate. So you can make different shapes. You can brush that off, and then you can start to fill your bowl. Now, obviously, you're going to spend a lot more time doing this. Yeah. It's going to be a lot nicer.
I would make the bowl inside look a whole lot prettier.
You probably would. Oh, and this is melted from the temperature of the
from the stove.
Of the stove, but it's still possibly usable.
I'm just intrigued to see what bubble wrap chocolate, because I've never.
Oh, you've seen this. You
say this like it's a regular thing.
You've seen this more often than you might remember. It's often, photographed on plates with chocolates on top of it, etc.
Very cool.
So you can just break this off. Usually it's not sitting next to an oven. So, and again, it's playing with textures.
Sure.
And
actually, you know what? I kind of like having it sort of melted. Makes it sort of fit to the bowl like that.
You're very kind.
You're welcome.
You're very kind. It should be brittle. It should be something you can bite into. But you could build sort of a centerpiece like this. Call it a chocolate potpourri bowl.
So when you make a centerpiece like this, what is your expectation about people eating it? I mean, are you expecting that this is something that someone's going to occasionally take a bite out of?
Usually, if it's a bowl, if it's for a centerpiece and it's a bowl, whatever's in there, people will eat. They'll keep the bowl, and it can be used for other things. You can fill it with Smarties for the kids. You could cut blocks of chocolate, melt it, cut it into shapes, and just wrap them in a pretty tin foil. So again, it's just chocolate. It's playing with shapes. It's playing with textures, and it's nothing that you can't do at home.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take the bowl home.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to practice on it so I can bring it back for you. Warren, thank you so much for sharing your chocolate with me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
artinchocolate.ca to see more of Warren's work and the amazing sculptures that he makes out of chocolate. All right, there is more Daytime sans chocolate, unfortunately. Stick around. We'll be right back.